Okay, hey everybody, hopefully my microphone is working this time, of course. Septilence, and sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background. She's incredibly vocal today for some reason. So, initially in a campaign, you'll get a link from a dungeon master that will take you to a campaign specifically, but I haven't sent those links out yet. So instead, if you want to make a character early, you can go to this little tab right here, create a character, bada bing, and then it'll open up, boom, character builder for you. So step one, out of the way, nice and easy. We're going to go with standard, because this is going to be one shot, so we're going to be making level 10 characters, but even if you're making a level 1 character, you have to do exactly what kind of the steps I go through here. So I'm just going to punch a name in here. His name's going to be Skizbo. That's just, I don't know. And you're going to, for my campaign at least, you're going to collect everything except Rick and Morty content. So everything's good to go, but Rick and Morty, we're not doing any of the sci-fi biz, so we're going to skip that one. And then we are going to have optional class. No, we're not. Change my mind. No optional class features. Just kidding. Advancement type does not matter because this is a one-shot. This is basically like you make it to a certain point in the story and level up, or you defeat enough characters or quests to then level up. But keep it on milestone just to keep things simple. HP point type is going to be fixed. Feats and multi-class requirements are both going to stay on. So everything here is going to be great. Modifiers at the top, so on and so forth. Ignore coin weight. You're going to hit that. That's just, I'm doing you guys a favor there. So next you scroll all the way back to the top. You're going to go to race. And depending on the amount of source books you have, there's going to be different amounts of races. And now I have, I think one source book. I might not even have a single source book, but you can see there's all these races to choose from. There's all these sub races as well, so on and so forth. And I'll pick a human just for the explanation, but the more source books you unlock, the more races that you can find as well as classes. So we're going to go simple. We're going to go with a normal human. Now this is going to tell you everything you need to know. Your ability score is increased by 1 for the human, right? And then the language a human speaks is common in one other. Now I'm going to hit choose race, and it's going to make me pick a second language. Easy. So you click on the thing with the exclamation point. An exclamation point means you need to select something. So I need to select a language here, and I think it would be funny if he spoke Leonin. Why not? He sounds like a lion. I don't know. So that's pretty much all you have to do here. You have to do that accordingly, and then go to class. And you can pick, again, you're going to get different classes unlocked. I don't think there's many more. I know there's an Artificer, I can never say the word, but there's another class I don't have unlocked here. If you don't want to be using my resource books, like if you have more, you're welcome to do that. Just send me a PDF of your character sheet so I can keep an eye on your abilities, so on and so forth, what needs to be done. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to choose Bard because that's kind of the class I play the most. This will explain what that creature does, or what that class does, rather, and all of the abilities they can get as you level up, so on and so forth. Those are important to read at least up to level 10, because then that is where we're going to be playing. So hit that. You're immediately going to jump up here, hit level 10, okay? And that's going to unlock, now don't get freaked out, it's going to unlock a lot of exclamation points here, and that's easy peasy. So we're going to start at the top, okay? So proficiencies. Because I'm a bard, bards play instruments, I need to choose 3 instruments I'm proficient in. So I'm going to choose the bagpipes, the pan flute, and, oh, I skipped one, and the horn. Why not? We're just going to spice things up a little bit. And I think choosing skills here is going to be a little bit important as well. So if you get something like this, these are skill checks you'll be rolling later in the future, and depending on what kind of character you want to play, you're going to want to choose these accordingly. But as a bard, I always like to be an animal-loving bard, so I always will choose animal handling, and then, oh, I didn't mean to click away, and then I will also choose persuasion, because as a bard, it's very important to use your words and be handsome and charming, as I am in real life, wink wink. And then I'll go with sleight of hand. Doesn't matter, that's just going to be good because I'm a little thief. So then we're going to jump down. These are just some things you need to know, some abilities I have just from being a bard. You don't have to read those now, but you're going to want to read those on your character. Then Bard College, I only have 1 because I don't have any source books. Expertise. Now, expertise is different from proficiency. So you can only be an expert in skills you're proficient in. So it's almost like a ladder. So proficiency has to come before expertise. And I'm going to choose an expertise in persuasion and sleight of hand. So that's going to make me even better at those. Now, bonus proficiencies. Oh, excuse me, I'm choking a little bit. How unfortunate. Bonus proficiencies are going to give you more proficiencies. That's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to go with deception, investigation, and for giggles we'll go with medicine, because I know that I'm going to have some healing abilities later down the road. Your ability score improvement. Now you can choose a feat here, which kind of gives you special abilities, so on and so forth, but I, again, only have 1 source book, so no real feats, unless you want to be a firearm specialist, which means you use guns instead of like a bow and arrow or anything of the sort. But other than that, I suggest you improve your ability score one way or another. As a bard, I'm going to choose to increase my charisma and my intelligence, both for my charm and my spell casting. Next, jumping down, I get an additional 2 spells at 6th level. I'm going to pick animal friendship and I don't know. What else do I want? Is Disintegrate? Did I pass it? Okay, it looks like that's not here. So let's go with instead Counterspell. That's an important spell to have. And then again, same thing. You can choose the feats if you want, but I suggest increasing your ability scores. So I'm going to go with Constitution and Wisdom. Expertise, again, I'm going to choose things that I'm proficient in. I can bump it all the way up to an Expertise. I get 2 more spells for being a level 10 Bard. So we're going to go with, I saw Eldritch Blast. Where'd it go? There it is, Eldritch Blast. And, what else do we want? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Fire Shield, sure, why not? And of course, you choose whatever spells you want. I'm just choosing spells to kind of get this out of the way and move us into the next part so I can have a fully built character sheet to show you guys at the very end. And then that's going to be it for here. And I'm kind of burning through this, so I apologize. If you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out. And then there's going to be spells. As a bard, I can learn, you're going to hit add spells here. I can learn 4 cantrips and 14 spells. So I'm just going to click random cantrips. If you want to read about what a spell does, all you have to do is, is it, hello? I already know 4. All you have to do is just click on it, and it'll read to you what it does. That's pretty cool. A lot of cantrips don't do damage. There's a couple that do, and a Thunderclap does 1d6 thunder damage, and it's a very loud ability, so definitely something that you may want to keep around is a very quick way to do extra damage if you run out of spell slots, so on and so forth. And what do I need? 14 spells. Okay, I'm not going to be going into what all of these do. I'm just going to be choosing these at random. Locate object, that's a good one. Major image, speak with dead. Polymorph. Love that one. Mass Cure Wounds, because I am a healer sometimes. And, wow, I always forget how few Bard spells actually do damage. Stinking Cloud. Disgusting. Love it. How many do I even need left? I'm just spamming away here. Okay, 4 more. Let's see. Let's go for 5th level spells only. Modify Memory, another good one. Yeah, I don't know why I'm taking so long with this. I'm just going to pick random spells. Okay, that's 14. Perfect. And then when you're done with that, you can... right here, duh. You can go up to Abilities, and we're going to do the point buy method, which means you can use 27 points to increase whatever you'd like as a bard. I'm going to increase Charisma and Intelligence. I'm just going to dump into those because, again, I'm not actually using this character, so I'm just going to randomly dump points accordingly. And then sure, that probably works out. Description, now things get a little bit more fun here for description. So you can choose whatever background you'd like. Again, I don't have a lot of source books, so it's just going to be some random background here and there. I'm going to choose Folk Hero, why not? And then I get another proficiency in Survival, and I get to choose something random. So I'm going to choose Nature. I love Nature. Artisan's Tools, now, I love glass blowing, so personally I'm going to choose a glass blower's tools. These are all different types of ability tools that you could use for a bunch of different things: alchemist, calligraphy, cobbler, glass blower, so on and so forth. I'm going to choose glass blower. And then this is a background feature I get, where basically it's a little easier for me to blend into the town and kind of feel like a local, and that doesn't really help, but depending on how much the DM wants to have that help you. This is where you kind of get to choose things. Suggested characteristics. These are just kind of characteristics to help you build your character, how they would react, how they would do certain things, so on and so forth. Same thing with character details. You can choose the alignment. All I ask is no chaotic evil. That's all I ask. I usually go with chaotic neutral because that really gives you the freedom to do whatever you want, but chaotic evil, that's too much to deal with. Here you type in the deity or whoever you want to worship, and just be sure to let me know if you do choose someone to worship. Like if you're playing a paladin or something, I need to know as soon as possible. This is kind of where you fall in the economic ladder. So are you wretched? Are you super poor? Are you aristocratic? Are you very rich? And I usually go with poor or modest just to start around the middle. And I always like to play those grimy kind of crawling out of the depths of poverty characters, those thieves and whatnot. Now, physical characteristics, I'm just going to make this guy look like I do. So I'm just going to burn through this. Except instead of being 6 foot like I am, he's going to be 4'10". I don't know, just decided that. He's going to be 100 pounds. He's 30, which I'm also not, and he's a male. So you're just going to burn through these things. You can add these characteristics, these bonds, these flaws. You can add some notes here, like a backstory. And then that's that. We're going to jump into equipment now. You're going to choose equipment instead of gold. and from here you get to pick whatever you want. I'm going to pick a boomerang because I think it's so funny to have a boomerang as a primary weapon. Entertainer's pack, a loot, and of course this will look different for your class and race, so you'll have some different items to choose from, but the most important thing of this roll is making sure you choose equipment instead of gold. We want to have that equipment chosen. Now another artisan, I don't know, I'm a cook. I love cooking. And then I get all of these items, so on and so forth. You'll go through and choose what you need to choose, add starting equipment, and then all you have to do is hit this little character sheet right here. Bada bing, bada boom, welcome to the world of D&D. You've got everything figured out. This is your character, and I'll go through a little bit to see kind of what's brought to the table here and what each of these things means. If you want to know what any of these roles mean, all you have to do is click on them. They'll explain it to you right here. Oh, acrobatics covers your attempt to stay on your feet in a tricky situation, like running on a sheet of ice, so on and so forth. I'm not going to read all of them, but you get the point. And then this is going to be your actions. So you've got the actions of taking an action and dealing some damage. An action can be an attack, casting a spell, disengaging from combat, grappling somebody, searching something in combat, so on and so forth. And then I have a class feature here as an action I can perform until the end of my turn. During that time, me and any friendly creature will gain advantage on saving throws. So that's very exciting against being frightened or charmed. That's a very specific scenario, but as a bard, that comes in handy a little more often than you may think. So that is awesome. And then just my unarmed strike. Everybody has some kind, you know. So in attack, I only have 2 attacks. Oh, you know why? Because my boomerang is not equipped. Give me just 1 sec. Let me equip my boomerang and then... Yeah, okay, so if you see the leather, my light armor, if I equip it, my armor class goes up, AC. My armor class goes from 10 to 11, which 11 is very low, especially for being a level 10, so that's no bueno. But anywho, if I attack, I can attack with my boomerang, Eldritch Blast, or my unarmed strike. So to attack, you need to roll to hit. Every character has a unique AC or armor class, so I'll roll here. And I roll a 19 to hit. So if I was hitting myself, that would be 19 is obviously higher than 11. You roll for damage. And 1. Wow, okay, that's Garbo. So I would have done a whopping 1 damage there. So not exactly ideal, but it is what it is. Now to take an action, again, there's those actions. A bonus action, now I have a Bardic Inspiration, which is a Bard class ability. I basically can give one of my teammates 1d10 for an attack roll or saving throw. So if anybody plays a Bard, we'll get more into that when we talk about it. As a reaction, you can attack somebody if they leave your range of attack, your range of 5 feet in every direction. If they leave your combat range, then you get an attack on them on their way out. I also chose the spell Counterspell, which I can use as a reaction, which is great. Cutting Words is another Bard reaction. If you want to know what that is, feel free to pause the video and give it a read. We'll get, you know, I'm not going to explain every single thing here because it's already been 12 minutes and I have a lot to get through, so that's just going to be limited use. Bardic Inspiration. Now the spells, I have a lot. I'm a Bard, whatever. So if you go through here, you can see kind of what it, you know, how quickly can you cast it. You can cast these at will as many times as you want. You can cast a first level spell 4 times, second level 3 times, so on and so forth until you get to 5th level. You can only cast them twice. So, you know, each spell does a different thing. Some of them do damage, like Eldritch Blast. Some of them heal, like Healing Word. Some of them just blind somebody, like Blindness and Deafness. I can take somebody's sight or vision away, so on and so forth. So, very cool abilities here. And Fire Shield I've actually never used before. I don't know what it does, so we're going to find out together. Then Wispy Flames wreath your body for the duration, shedding bright light in a 10-foot radius. Very cool. Flames provide me warmth. Every creature within 5 feet of you hits you with a melee attack. The shield will roll. Wow! Very cool. Okay, I did not know that. So definitely learn something new every day on that. That's pretty much going to be the spells. Every time you use a spell, be sure to knock off a slot like that. So we'll say I just used Healing Word, whatever. And, you know, of course, that's kind of holding you to be honest and keep yourself accountable, but that's what D&D is all about. The equipment, I did kind of show you a sneak peek earlier, just shows you what's in your bag. That's pretty much it. You can equip and unequip armor or weapons in here, so that's just kind of a freebie ability. You can't really change things in combat. Like, you could pull something out in combat, but I would consider that at the very least a bonus action, so something to keep in mind. Now, this is those features and traits I talked about, where kind of if you fill these in earlier in the thing where I chose not to, it'll give you a little bit more explanation about like how your character should play and what your kind of background should be in the description as well. There's the notes, which I've never used personally, but we saw this tab in the character creation as well. The extras, I don't use this tab. I don't know what it's for. I don't know what it means, but I'm just being honest with you. So very early on, you'll find out, you know, I'll say roll for damage, and roll to hit always comes first, so you'll roll hit DC. Let's see, I rolled a 7 to hit. No, I can't count. I'll do 9 to hit. And then say, you know, something, I got lucky somehow, something has an AC lower than 9, and then you roll this. I'll say roll for damage, you roll for damage, I do a whopping 3 damage with my boomerang. But if I say roll for initiative, which will always happen at the start of combat, you're going to roll this right here, this bad boy right here. So initiative, I only have a +2, so 6. Probably going to be going last unless somebody happens to roll lower than that, but initiative just creates an order of who goes first, second, third, so on and so forth in combat, just so it's a little less chaotic there. And then I may say, you say, can I see somebody following us? I'll say roll a perception check. So that's going to be in here. Perception, mine's +3, so we're going to roll that, and it falls to the side. But 16, that's pretty good. So definitely something to keep in mind. And then depending on how you roll, depends on how things go for you. At level 10, you're going to have a couple things that are higher than the rest, like my persuasion. I say like, oh, you don't want to arrest us. We've been good friends since grade school, and I have to convince them to believe me. That's probably going to be a deception check because I'm lying. So we'll roll deception, and I roll, okay, a 25. Very few people are going to fail a 25. That's pretty much a guarantee of doing what you'd like to do there. But, there may be, if you're trying to perhaps persuade a dragon, I think a 25 even might be pushing it a little bit close. But I feel like that pretty much explains a lot of things. Sometimes I may just say roll a strength check. If you're trying to lift up something heavy, that's up here. That's going to be your primary class kind of features, so strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So, if I roll charisma, all right, ooh, that was almost a 9, but instead we're going to get a 19, so that would have been very strong there, so on and so forth. And I think that's going to be pretty much it. If you get inspired by somebody on your team, just hit that little button there. It doesn't do anything. It just reminds you have an inspiration. And if you take damage or get healed, say I take, 62 damage, oh, golly gee, and now, I'm dead, but I'm at 1 health. But if you do fall below your health, there's 2 important things to know here. If you fall to 0, you will need to make a death saving throw. Okay, a death saving throws, I'll explain this again. You roll a d20, and if it's higher than 10, okay, so that's a fail. So that would have been a failure. That's 1. Bonk. So we're going to roll another 1. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but hopefully I get one that's above 10. So if it's 10 or below, it's a failure. But if it's higher than 10, it's a success. So 1 and 1. If you get to 3 failures, you die. Essentially permanently. I don't think anybody here is going to have Revivify or anything that could bring that character back to life. And if they do have it, they might not have the equipment necessary like the Diamond Dust to bring them back to life. So 3 successes restabilizes you back at 0 health. So you don't come back to life, but you don't die either. So just to fix things here, I'm going to... Oh, I did it. I'm alive. What is going on? Oh, wait, here. So let me heal back up. No, not 0, 10. Just give me 10, you weirdo. Okay, whatever. Apply changes. So we're back to life there, and I'll help you guys through that because it does get a little bit confusing. But it's definitely important to keep an eye on your health, and that's just a nice feature because you don't have to do mental math, and I'm really bad at math. The other thing is if you do take a long rest, that's just right here. This will restore all of your spell slots, so we'll just punch those in. We see that I'm at 11 health, so a long rest will fix both those things. Take it? Yeah, I'm totally sure. So it takes me back to full health. It cleans out all those slots, and I can use all my spells over again. A short rest doesn't heal you, but it allows you to use hit die. As a bard, I have 10 hit die, 1d8 plus 1, so let's say I'll use 2 of those, so I'll use 2d8, and then I can add plus 2, because they're each plus 1. So I only heal for... Okay, 10 health, not bad. That could probably save my life at the end of the day. But I'll help you guys figure all this out as we go on, because I know a lot of it can be pretty confusing. And I hope this was a good starting point. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm around pretty much all the time. It's summertime. I'm out of classes for the time being, so on and so forth. I've said it a lot during this video. I hope you guys don't mind. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was very helpful. And if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to help any of you guys get this figured out. I'm super excited to play.